Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed takes part in 3 summits in Riyadh. These summits in Riyadh discuss issues related to development, peace, terrorism, and the latest developments in the region. And the Civil Service Council reviews regulating the functional status of some categories of employees in accordance with their duties and responsibilities. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received 2 cables of thanks from the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of Saudi Arabia, in reply to His Majesty's 2 cables of condolences on the death of His Royal Highness Prince Mish'al bin Abdulaziz Al Saud and His Royal Highness Prince Nasser bin Sultan bin Nasser bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, chaired the Sultanate's delegation to the Works of Consultative Summit of Their Majesties and Highnesses, leaders of Gulf Cooperation Council countries, the 3rd Gulf American Summit and the Arab Islamic American Summit held today in Riyadh. The Gulf Consultative Summit was chaired by His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Naif bin Abdul Aziz, Crown Prince, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Interior of Saudi Arabia. It came within the continuous coordination and cooperation to enhance the GCC march to crystallize a vision that helps address latest developments, achieve security and stability in the region, and support economic and social development tracks aiming at achieving welfare and prosperity for GCC countries and peoples. His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed also participated in the works of Gulf American Summit, which was held under the chairmanship of the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of Saudi Arabia and His Excellency President Donald Trump of the United States of America. It reviewed the security in the region and ways to support its stability and coordinate international efforts to combat terrorism and extremism, in addition to the latest regional developments in the Middle East. The Palestinian cause was also present at the summit, focusing on the need to adhere to a just and comprehensive solution based on an effective approach. The Gulf American Summit also stressed the commitment of President Trump's administration to the deep and strategic relations binding GCC countries and the United States, and joint keenness to preserve the security and stability of this vital region and develop existing commercial, economic and investment partnerships. The summit came up with a memorandum of understanding on monitoring funding sources of terrorism. His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud bin Al Saeed and his delegation also took part in the Arab Islamic American Summit in Riyadh that brought together leaders of Arab and Islamic worlds and the U.S. leadership. It aimed at establishing a useful and effective dialogue and partnership for a joint understanding that strengthens the values of tolerance, moderation and ties with the Islamic world, and contributes in correcting some prevailing misconceptions about the relations between the East and the West. His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, is being accompanied by an official delegation comprising His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Sheikh Saif bin Mohammed Al-Shabibi, Minister of Housing, His Excellency Mohammed bin Salam Al-Toubi, Minister of Environment and Climate Affairs, and His Excellency Dr. Sayyid Ahmed bin Hilal Al-Busaidi, Sultanate's accredited ambassador to Saudi Arabia. His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for Relations Affairs and International Cooperation, Special Representative of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, met Indramani Pandey, Indian Ambassador accredited to the Sultanate. During the meeting, they reviewed the existing bilateral cooperation between the 2 countries in various aspects and ways of enhancing them within the framework of the good fraternal relations that bind the 2 friendly countries. His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal bin Saud Al-Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of Royal Court and Chairman of the Civil Service Council, issued today a decision declaring that official working hours at the Ministry's public authorities and other departments of the state's administrative apparatus during the holy month of Ramadan for 1438 Hijri will be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Ramadan crescent sighting will be announced by the concerned authorities. Meanwhile, His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser al-Bakri, Minister of Manpower, issued a decision reducing the working hours at the private sector's companies and establishments for Muslims during the holy month of Ramadan to 6 hours per day and 30 hours per week. On this occasion, all employees in the private and public sector forward their best greetings to His Majesty the Sultan, praying to Allah the Almighty to protect him and endow him with health, happiness and long life, and to return similar occasions to him and to the Omani people and all Muslims with omen and blessings. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Rock Art Forum reveals locations around the Sultanate which include writings and drawings dating back to different periods of history.
شكرا ماما على كل شيء تقدمينه لنا. لمستك تحلي أيامنا وتعطيها طعما جديدا. معك نتهنى بكل لحظة في رمضان. ماما أنت كل شيء طيب.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The Civil Service Council reviewed a number of topics related to regulating the functional status of some categories of employees in accordance with the terms of reference of their employers and the duties and responsibilities of their jobs as per the Civil Service Law and its executive regulation. The Council discussed during the meeting a number of applications for recruitment and contracting for some professional positions. A report on the 2017 training plans of the ministries and government units which apply the Civil Service Law was also reviewed. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal al-Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of Royal Court, Chairman of the Civil Service Council. 62 research projects were qualified to the creativity competition of the Research Council. 3 projects will be financed to become growing Omani companies in the field of telecommunications by the end of the competition, which aims to support scientific research in the Sultanate. The competition also aims to gather the youth talents in one place to exchange knowledge and innovative ideas on the latest technologies, information security, as well as topics related to smart cities. Petroleum Development Oman PDO held a ceremony to graduate 420 Omani youth in various administrative and technical specializations after they underwent through 18 months of practical and theoretical training program in various leading institutes in the Sultanate. The graduates were employed in the companies that have contracts with PDO. The training program included 6 months in theoretical side and 12 months practical. The 7th batch of graduates were employed in 24 companies. The number of beneficiaries from this program since its start reached around 30,000 Omani youth. The program will provide around 50,000 job opportunities in various sectors, including oil and gas. In order to enhance the quality of work and spread the culture of competitiveness among trainees, the PDO launched special awards for the best trainee and the best training establishment. The ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Hamad al-Rumhi, Minister of Oil and Gas. Represented by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, the Sultanate celebrated World Meteorology Day, which falls on May 20th under the theme Measurements for Transport. A number of experts took part in the event who discussed the role of the private sector in strengthening the national infrastructure of meteorology measurement systems in transport and the role of measurement and modulation laboratory in consumer and environment protection. The event aimed to find new and safe transportation means in the modern society. The World Meteorology Day corresponds to the anniversary of the signing the Meteor Convention 1875, which was established as the most significant basis of modern metrics. The convention greatly contributed in uniting the standards of measurements around the world and terminating many measurements units that were randomly used around the world. The Public Establishment for Industrial Estates signed an agreement to obtain funding facilities worth 50 million Omani Riyals with Bank Dhofar. The agreement will assist to implement a number of vital projects such as logistics zone at Rusail Industrial Estate, the third and fourth expansion of Nizwa Industrial Estate, the development of new phase of Raisut Industrial Estate and the development project of Knowledge Oasis Muscat. The projects also will include the completion of a number of existing projects such as the infrastructure project of Mazyuna Free Zone, the infrastructure of Samail Industrial Estate and wastewater plant project at Rusail Industrial Estate. Directorate General of Education in the Governorate of North Sharqiya held a ceremony to celebrate the conclusion of the activities of Reading Initiative. The initiative focused on encouraging students to read and provide them with high thinking skills. It as well aimed at improving Arabic language skills among the participants. The initiative also aimed to provide the participants with the skills needed to run dialogue and broaden their understanding of what is going on in the globe. The conclusion ceremony included various activities like poem recitation and speech delivery. The Rock Art Forum in the Wilaya of Rostaq revealed a number of locations around the Sultanate which include writings and drawings that date back to different periods of history. It shed light on the significance of rock arts on the cultural and touristic levels. The forum stressed that these drawings and rock carvings represent a rich field for researchers to study Omani civilization and requested the bodies concerned to preserve these historical discoveries, which will contribute in promoting historical tourism in Oman. Saudi Energy Minister Khalid Al-Falih said today that the $280 billion worth of agreements signed between his country and the United States represent truly a partnership between the two nations. The agreements signed on yesterday include a $110 billion arms deal and collaborations in other fields including education, healthcare, housing and cybersecurity. Al-Falih spoke during U.S. President Donald Trump's two-day visit to Saudi Arabia. On a separate note, Al-Falih said they would welcome a moderate, healthy level of U.S. shale oil production. The Trump administration's energy plan involves maximizing U.S. domestic production of shale oil and gas, which threatens Saudi Arabia's ability to profit off of higher oil prices. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has condemned North Korea's alleged ballistic missile launch and described it as a challenge to the international community. Abe spoke to reporters in Tokyo after holding a National Security Council meeting in response to reports of Pyongyang's latest test. He expressed his hope to discuss the issue at the upcoming Group of Seven G7 meeting in Italy and for the international community to send a clear message to North Korea. Earlier, South Korea reported that North Korea had fired an unidentified projectile from an area near its capital, Pyongyang, in what could be the latest weapons test for a country speeding up its nuclear weapons and missile development. The launch comes a week after the North successfully tested a new mid-range missile that experts say may one day be capable of reaching Alaska or Hawaii. South Korea today convened an emergency National Security Council meeting following North Korea's latest firing of an unidentified projectile earlier in the day. South Korean presidential spokesman Park Soo-hyun said in a briefing that President Moon Jae-in ordered the meeting immediately after he was informed of the projectile launch. South Korean officials said the mid-range ballistic missile was fired from an area near Pukchang in South Pyongyang province and flew eastward about 500 kilometers. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate, clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the governorate of Dhofar. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies. Winds will be south to southeasterly, light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed takes part in 3 summits in Riyadh. The summits in Riyadh discuss issues related to development, peace, to terrorism and the latest developments in the region. And the Civil Service Council reviews regulating the functional status of some categories of employees in accordance with their duties and responsibilities. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.